All right, welcome to a very late night edition of IP2wikiInfo. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I guess I started the stream a little in reverse, but to the person who basically woke me up and had me listen to a couple clips, thanks. I can't do anything at this moment. I gotta wait until the morning, but I'm surprised that blogger went as far as he did tonight, but and I'm not making excuses because I do got to do what I got to do as far as reporting a few things that he said. I'm surprised that he said some of the things that he said actually, but the way he was acting and looking, I don't think that it's only alcohol that he's abusing. I think he's on meth or heroin or fentanyl or something also because or maybe even gosh, what's that stuff called? That's like cocaine that they take, Adderall. Cuz he wasn't acting even when he's been drunk in the past, I hadn't seen him quite like that. But I haven't seen the whole stream and I don't know if the streams are still up, but after I get off this live, I'm going back to bed. But I'm not the only woman that he threatened tonight. He also threatened Trisha Licious and a woman who I hadn't thought about in a really long time. What's her name? Tracy Moore. But you know what all three of us have in common? We all like Psyche Awakens. And just considering a few things that I heard that blogger said, Psyche Awakens is really in his mind for some reason. Um, I wonder why. I guess there's a lot of reasons as to why that could be. Blogger also might be upset because I probably said a few things that really resonated with him when I did that last recap of him. I haven't even seen all the clips that you guys sent me, so I just listened to like three and I couldn't believe it. But I'll recap it. I'll probably have to edit the clips because there's a lot of profanity and stuff and the racial slurs, but yeah, I mean, like I said, there's probably a lot of things going on within him. Someone who I noticed was in the chat is outlined on ambermethhead.info. So, you know, a lot of people have pretty much made it clear that she's been supplying a lot of substances to streamers. So if he's talking to her and if there's a level of loyalty to her, it's because she's dealing him drugs. I mean, that's pretty obvious. Anywhere you see her, you see substance abuse. Um, Also, he might just out of his own self-interest might want to completely separate himself from Psyche Awakens, and I'll tell you why. Um, I have hypothesized for a very long time that blogger is very open when it comes to his sexuality. I think he's more than straight. I wouldn't classify him as gay, but I think he swings both ways. And to my knowledge, and I could be incorrect, but I think from what I've heard Psyche Awakens say, he goes both ways too. So, I keep hearing blogger yelling and screaming, and it's like, I don't know why he's so fixated on me because I don't talk to him. Okay. I cut off communication with him, direct communication. I did recap him recently and I'm going to recap him again. I'll recap him all I want. But don't stream if you don't want to be recapped. Okay? So he's probably upset about the recap. He probably associates me with his discomfort with Psyche Awakens because I recently did the project with Psyche Awakens. I think that blogger is jealous of Psyche Awakens primarily because Psyche Awakens is very open and honest about exactly who he is, whereas Blogger is the opposite. He conceals a lot. And facially, um Blogger and Psyche Awakens, they do favor each other a bit. I wouldn't say that they look exactly alike, but they favor each other facially. But here's what's interesting. Psyche Awakens is extremely tall, by many of your standards at least. He's around 6'3". He's taller than average. He's tall and slim. Um, Blogger is the exact opposite. He's slim, but he's really short. I don't even know how short he really is. And he's very insecure about that. So it is kind of odd that that Blogger has such disdain from what he claims for Psyche Awakens. But in actuality, I think that he's just jealous of Psyche Awakens because Psyche Awakens is open about who he is, who he's attracted to, and whatnot. He does what he wants to do in life, follows his passions, has a good work ethic, and really, I think Blogger is jealous that Psyche Awakens is tall because Blogger wishes he was tall. I think it's possible Blogger might be more petite than Trishalicious at this stage because Blogger is wasting away. And that's why I say I don't think it's just drinking, but he's on something. But I've just noticed that wherever you see ambermethhead.info in the chat, that tends to be the chats of people who are on the edge of going over the edge due to substance abuse. We saw that with quite a few of the streamers now. And I think that she's the supplier. That's why people talk to her. She doesn't have a good personality. God knows that she's a terrible person. Um, it's the drugs. So, you know, I'm going to block you. My chat and my being just isn't for you. I actually wish that some of you who have made it clear that you're a-okay with my life being threatened, you're okay with people saying they want to do all kinds of horrible things to me. And at a really at a really sensitive time in my life, I've made it known some things that I've been going through. But some of you who think that you can say certain things, chats about me, write certain comments, but then come in my chat and try to talk to me directly, absolutely not. No. What I don't think many of you understand is that I've made it clear that I'm not in the communities that are comprised of the people who are making these threats. Now, what happened tonight, it could also be an effort to draw my attention from the person who I know put a hit out on me recently, the woman known as Beta. It's also probably an effort to try to either intimidate me or draw my attention away from legalities that the woman outlined on ambermethod.info is facing when it comes to her falsifying police reports. But I mean, what can I do about any of this tonight? And does it make a difference or negatively impact my life at this stage in person? I hope it never does. But really it doesn't. I mean, I hate that I got to involve law enforcement when it comes to Butterfield now. I really do. I hate it. Because I don't think in his core he's evil, but maybe he is. I don't know. Um Somebody did ask me in a DM about what I think about Blackout. I don't think Blackout was encouraging what was going on. I do have screenshots of who was encouraging what was going on, but Blackout specifically said that he doesn't have an issue with me. That was clipped. Um, Again, I don't reach out to Blogger, and I never would again, personally, you know? If I feel like commentating on him or recapping him, especially if it has to do with him threatening me, yeah, I'll do that. But he's just mentally ill from my perspective, and a drug addict and an alcoholic. I mean, there's nothing else to really say about it. I don't know why he fixates on me so much. He probably listens to a lot of my streams. Um, if he was a streamer who traveled a lot, maybe I would be a little bit nervous, but he's not someone who I've seen do any really major travel. I'm not in his state. Um, you know, I feel like I'm safe. Really, from what I'm seeing, it's actually the racist women within these communities who are okay with turning a blind eye to child abuse that I would say I have to worry the most about. You know, like I wouldn't put it past Beta buying a gun and trying to shoot me from a distance. I wouldn't put that past her. I wouldn't put it past a few women in these communities who mainly take issue with me out of jealousy. And I do understand why they wish they could be me and they can't be. Some of these women, they don't understand how hard I've worked in my life. They don't understand the things that I've been through. Um, some of these women are very sheltered. They grow up in very homogeneous neighborhoods. They're poor. Um, it's just what it is. But I do appreciate people, seeing what was happening and seeing who was encouraging it, and taking the time to clip certain things. I really appreciate it because I wouldn't have seen it. Um, like I said, don't donate to these people anymore. Anyone linked to the woman outlined on ambermethhead.info is bad news, okay? Anytime you see her in a chat, don't donate to that streamer, okay? Especially if she's a moderator for them. She's like BFFs with the two people outlined on rumorpedo.com, and you already know what they're about. So, I mean, that's what you get when you're somebody who has zero self awareness. That's what you get when you're someone who thinks that you can do infinite crimes and never get caught. I mean, we just saw the meth head do jail time, and she's repeating the same behavior. She'll be back in prison probably next week. But you know, sometimes people are just trash, and when they are, you just have to acknowledge it. Um there is a lot of attention attached to my name. So people are going to talk about me and try to get my attention. Um it's sad, but I think Blogger's real issue with me is that in my last recap I told him exactly what was what. He looks horrible. He's not living his life right, and he shouldn't be streaming. Also, on top of that, he is a father, and what he's doing would definitely embarrass his son, without a doubt. There's a lot of bad dads in these communities. I mean, I was talking about that before. I was saying that I thought Trisha Licious should do coverage of it, but I don't think she's going to. So who knows? Maybe I will. I don't really have the interest, but if I'm bored one day, I might just do like a 2025 Bad Dads Club review, because there are a lot of really shitty fathers who are within these communities. I just don't really want to cover streamers though, but then again, bad dads, they're bad dads who happen to stream. So it is what it is. Anyway, have a good night. Thanks, people, for your concern and whatnot, but I can't do anything till the morning. And really, when it comes to internet threats, all I can say is that, some people, it's just what it is. It's just what it is. But if you do hear this, Butterfield, um, you really need to stop streaming. Anyway, that's it. Good night.